So let's take a look very quickly at shares of Chevron. That company just reporting its earnings, and they did come in at a better than expected number, $1.85 a share on an adjusted basis. That's 15 cents better than expectations. Revenue of $49.7 billion also coming in ahead of expectations. And the company says that it saw record production both in the United States and globally. I spoke with the CEO, Mike Wirth, and talked a little bit about what these numbers mean, what he's seeing. He was talking about U.S. production being up 27%, worldwide production up 21% over the prior year. And he said, look, really, this is a story about cash flow. Cash is the biggest part of what he is most proud about with the story at this point. If you look at cash flow, adjusted cash flow, $7 billion. That's up 50% year over year, despite the fact that crude oil prices were down by $10 a barrel over that same period of time. He says when it comes to cash flow, there's a lot of things a year ago they didn't have going for them that they are very well prepared for on this front. He listed off 4 things. He said, first of all, they hadn't started the Kazakhstan project, and they were growing towards $1 million a barrel in the Permian on a daily basis, but hadn't gotten there yet. They had 3 projects that were under construction in the Gulf, and the Hess deal hadn't closed. All 4 of those have been resolved or settled at this point. And he said that's what puts them in such a strong cash flow position. He pointed out that when you talk to people, most people will tell you that they anticipate oil prices will go down from here. And he said that they are in a very strong position if that is the case. He said they're well prepared for that, well positioned for what could be, he said, a very rocky period for commodities. Now, other things that they're seeing here, he said cost reductions are intact and on pace for where they are expecting to be for some of those things, and just pointed out that the amount of money they've given back to shareholders, both in terms of dividends and buybacks, added up to about $6 billion for the third quarter. Over the last 3 years, he said they've given $75 billion back to shareholders, and just pointed out at a $315 billion market cap, that is a pretty substantial sum to be giving back. One of the things he talked about is AI, just in terms of how they are using AI more and more. And that's a pretty interesting thing. I asked him how they're using it. He said, first of all, in things like exploration, they have over 1 million documents, hand-drawn maps, drill test, well logs going back over the last 80 years. They've now been able to take and electronically implement all of those things so they have them at their fingertips, so they're faster with that. Also can do things like maintenance work orders. But a pretty good quarter for the company. And you can see right now that stock is up by 1.3%. By the way, Mike Wirth will be on Squawk on the Street. That's coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. And we'll be hearing from ExxonMobil just in the next 10 minutes or so. And we have an exclusive interview with CEO Darren Woods. That's going to be coming up in the 8 a.m. hour.